Hello, I'm ABX and this is Seed Sunday, a weekly series I run on my channel where I show you seeds, Minecraft console versions that are particularly interesting and worth checking out in some way. And this week's seed is the first TU49 seed on my channel. Even though it was a bug fix update, you might want a seed for the brand new update, and if that is the case, this one is one you really should be thinking of checking out because it has a giant jungle. You know, one of the rare biomes to find in the current update. It has a giant jungle which contains 2 jungle temples. It also contains both of the rarer types of villages, a tiger village and a Savanna Village. But on top of that, I found some diamond locations. I found a, weird glitch of a jungle biome, which is like a frosty jungle biome. I found, a very, very flat biome, and basically this has a cool mixture of everything that I think is great, and you'll want to check out in a seed. Hopefully you all do enjoy this week's Seed Sunday. Like the video if you do, because it helps out the channel, and let's know you do like seeing these seeds every single week on the channel. But with that said, let's get straight into it, and let's start with the very first thing, which is the seed itself. So, I found this myself. It's IBX49 T36, so, 49, like title update 49, and then T for temple, and then 36. There isn't 36 temples, but like I said, there is actually 2 temples found in this seed, which is pretty rare as far as, Minecraft console seeds go. You usually, even finding one is super, super rare, because it's just a very rare structure. But yeah, with that said, if you type that seed in, you'll spawn just over here. This is the beacon to mark it, and you have this nice little bit of, like a water thing to look out onto, if you want to find some sheep, some cats, and some cows. But if you want to instead just go straight to your jungle temple, you want to head to the north instead. So just go this way entirely, and you have to go through some jungles, but not much jungle, but you'll find your first jungle temple, which is just over here. As you can see, it's kind of hidden, so make sure you look around closely. But this is the first jungle temple. It is facing the, the way you're coming from, and if you head inside here, you can get access to 2 sets of random loot. What's the random loot going to be? Let's find out for the first time, as always, on the video. As you can see, there's 7 gold in there, and some rotten flesh, which is nice, and then in the second chest, you'll have access to a diamond, which is nice, and 5 bits of iron, so pretty good. Again, jungle temples generally have slightly less, loot, or worse loot, I guess you could say, than desert temples, but it's easier to get to, and it's also, I guess, just more interesting because of the way the structure comes about. But the second jungle temple is the place you'll want to go next, because it's not too far from the first one. Again, bear in mind, this jungle is pretty massive. It covers like a full 3/4 of the map's height. It goes all the way from spawn and the, deep south of the map, all the way to up here and the ocean, where it eventually ends. But just next to the ocean, where it eventually ends, you'll see how there's this big jungle temple right here. Next to the jungle temple, by the way, there is 2 melons, so maybe that's your thing. But there's also this thing here, which you can loot again and get another set of free loot. So yeah, as well. Okay, so let's go inside the back side. So as you can see, it's reversed from the other one, and yeah, 2 random sets of loot again. As you can see, the first one, or the one behind the leather puzzle, is just a lot of rotten flesh and bones, but also 5 bits of iron, pretty darn nice. And then the second bit over here is going to contain more bones and rotten flesh and 1 more bit of iron. However, you got to bear in mind, one of the cool things about these temples that you might not always realize is that you can actually take these dispensers with you if you want them. You can also take the pistons from the, the weird piston trap with you, and I think that's pretty great in general, that you can get some redstone, you can get pistons, dispensers, levers, also chiseled stone, just as a nice little bonus from one of these structures. So yeah, if that's not your thing though, you're like, oh, 2 jungle temples, who cares if that's rare? I don't care about jungle temples. Maybe something you do care about is spruce villages, because there's a really, really nice one on the seed. Again, just to the kind of I guess the east of the other one, because here you can see just the east of that one is this spruce village just over here. So yeah, this is a really nice spruce village because it contains most of the things you want. So again, it's got a church, it's got the blacksmith, and it's got a few other houses. Very interestingly though, at least to me, is there is no crop planters here at all. I have no idea how that happened, or if maybe they're underneath it or hidden in some way, but there is no crop planters here at all. But the interesting thing you want to go straight for is the blacksmith chest. So it's not the most amazing one in the world, but it does contain armor, as well as horse armor, as well as more gold, some food, and some oak saplings, which are nice when you're nowhere near an oak biome, as you can see right here. So yeah, with that said, let's move on from the first village, a really, really nice one with no planters, to the south of that, because one thing you might want to, pick up on, something I haven't done in a very long time on Seed Sunday, but I figured let's do just a little bit now, is finding diamonds. So I actually, was just looking around randomly, and I found a vein of diamonds, and I was like, oh, I wonder if there's any nearby here, and there did happen to be. So just over here, at these coordinates right here, at one of these coordinates, if you mine down, you'll find yourself, okay, as you can see, just like this, at Y15, you'll find yourself a patch of 5 diamonds, this looks to be. Is that 5? Yeah, it is 5 diamonds, which is pretty darn nice. So 5 diamonds, pretty cool to find. You can see I've been doing the extra glitch right there. So we got 5 diamonds found just over here. They didn't help me find the diamonds, by the way, because they weren't in caves. These are just entirely found in the ground below. And then just over here, pretty much right next to it, you can see at these coordinates, you're going to find yourself, so 166, 186, and 12, you're going to find yourself what looks to be a solid 6 diamonds. So another really solid haul right there. So yeah, that's 6 diamonds. Another really, really solid haul. You know, that's 11 diamonds for right next to each other with very, very little effort to get from between them. Pretty nice for something that's found just at the edge of the jungle. But in case that's not your thing, you're like, that's nice, I guess, but I have as many diamonds as I want because I know how to strip mine. Maybe something that will interest you a lot more is something very rare and exclusive to this scene because it is a snowy jungle biome. That's right, it's a jungle biome which entirely takes place in some form of swamp or, you know, like a frost, yeah, I guess a taiga biome of some form. No idea for sure how this happens. The edge of the world is kind of glitchy when it comes to biomes, and in this particular case, it has just got a jungle tree, which, as you can see, entirely got the, you know, different colored leaves, and the top of it is covered in snow. It's a very, very, very strange thing, and I think it's pretty cool to check out because most biomes aren't snowy jungles, and that's something you get access to right here, which is pretty cool if you ask me. So yeah, snowy jungle might be a thing. Also, extreme hills found over here might be a thing if you want some emeralds and stuff, but presuming those aren't, you know, the things that get you really excited, then, also, by the way, there's this roof forest, which has this ravine right here, and it's super terrifying because you could be running through it, and, like, before you even realize it, like, oh, and now there's this giant gap. So yeah, this is also a point of note. I don't think there's too much going on here, but in case you do, Y49 and then 384. So yeah, that said, let's move on from there to the second village, which is found just across from the spawn. So again, here's the spawn again. Head to the west of the spawn if you want to find the Savanna Village first, because the Savanna Village is found in this rather nice savanna, but you could probably guess that one actually. But yeah, the Savanna Village actually has quite a few crop planters, like several more than you might expect. Maybe all of the, you know, the seeds planters have added up over here, which is a nice thing to find. As you can see, lots and lots of those, and even one underneath, you know, this bit of grass right here. Also, in this village that I found to be notable is this house, which is like propped up on a hill. Also, there's this pathway, which is, again, it's a gravel pathway, but it goes like in and out of the hill, so you can see the exposed savanna wood. Maybe that's something you find interesting. And just in general, pretty bizarre village because of how it takes place on this weird little hill thing, but it's nice anyway, and might be something you want to check out, especially because you get some bookcases, which are always great. But in case you want a better source of bookcases, maybe something that will interest you more instead is this, the end place, which is found just over here. The end place, the Stronghold, because the Stronghold, this is where you want to mine down to it. The Stronghold has one of the most ridiculous series of chests I've seen in my life. So, oh, there's sand in here. Let me just quickly clarify. There is, I think it's 7 chests in a row in a Stronghold, which is pretty darn nice, because there's this, this first library, as you're going to see, a bunch of enchanted books, so Punch 1, Restoration, stuff like that. These aren't actually great enchantments, except Unbreaking, and I was like, this is a lame Stronghold, and I almost left, but I decided to go down the hallway and just be like, I wonder what else is in here, because, by the way, the end portal was found not too far away from here, but yeah, I decided to go, let's go down the hallway, and I was like, okay, so we got a chest, that's pretty darn nice, and then, is there another chest over there? That is pretty darn nice, so that's 4 chests in a row right there, with, lots of cool stuff we found inside, and then just after this room, there is another library, just found on the right. This library then contains another 2 chests, of course, with really amazing enchanted books. Fire Aspect, Fortune. One of these books right here, I think it's this, it's in the other chest. One of these books is the most amazing book I've ever found, because not only does it have, 2 enchantments in there, but one of these books has Mending and Frostwalker. Both of the rare treasure enchantments. You cannot get these enchantments naturally. You have to fish or find them in chests. It has both of them on the same book, which is absolutely nuts, and then there's Depth Strider and Smite there too. So yeah, that's 6 chests in a row with very little distance between them, and then finally, just after that, you walk down the stairs, and there is a 7th chest found over here with, apples and bread. But still, on other platforms, you might get better stuff than that, and I just think that's amazing that there's so many good things, lined up so close together, and it's just a nice little thing about this seed. So yeah, if that's not your thing, though, you're like, I like the free stuff, I like the Stronghold, but what about the flatland you said earlier, Toycat? Well, here is the flatland I said, and although it's not like 1,000,000% flat, a lot of it is, and it's mind-blowingly it's mind-blowing just how far this thing spreads, because bear in mind from here, look how far you can see in survival, and look how little there is, obstructing your view. It's amazing. You can see all the way to the, jungle over there, and all the way to the birch forest behind you. There is this massive, massive area that is pretty much flat. Again, you probably have to place some dirt in the water if you want to, build on top of that directly, but even then, you could just build your house over it or something. There's very little work that's to be done here to make an entirely flat area that spans like a 200 by 200 block space, and I think that's pretty darn cool personally. But yeah, that is mostly the end of this week's Seed Sunday. There's a few other weird things I quite like this thing that heads through the hill, or there's an extreme hill over here, which there's like it's like a little box that you can lock yourself in, like, what's going on there? But yeah, there's a bunch of weird stuff in the seed. There's a bunch of cool stuff that I recommend you check out with the seed I mentioned at the very start of the video. But otherwise, I hope you did all enjoy this week's Seed Sunday. Like the video if you did like it, because it helps out the channel and lets know you do like the seeds. share the video if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if subscribed, you'll see those daily on your homepage. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!